Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome back to Royal Clan in ClanGen, the Warrior Cats clan generator game. When we left off in the previous episode, our newborn kittens turned 1 moon old and they opened up their eyes so we could see them a lot clearer, and they are just way too adorable. And then, surprisingly, we had some new mates get together, 2 pairs in fact. And this was not a formal match made, like none of these were formal matches made by the king for the growth of the clan. This was just like romantic entanglements that finally resulted in something between some brewing romances that have been going on for a time. So all of that excitement. But let's go ahead, jump to the leader's den and get the day going. So let's see, we're also still trying to invite Inkfeather into the clan. So okay, let's roll the dice. We got a 10 on the d10, so that's down clan, and we got a 4 on the d8, which is offend, so he's still feeling very protective of the youngsters and very sassy. So we'll go ahead and skip a moon and see what happens. At the gathering, Fernstar questions whether Down Clan's leader has been entirely truthful about their recent activities on their shared border. Down Clan relations have worsened. Despite a long search, Inkfeather could not be found by the clan. Lightning struck in camp, killing King Fernstar. The leader has 7 lives left. And Bearpelt has gotten heat exhaustion. I feel like this is the second instance we've had of lightning killing someone in the camp. Luckily, it was the king, and we don't have to worry about him too much because he still has like the 7 lives left. But my goodness, I don't know what it is about this grotto, or what it is about the forest, but it seems as though there's quite a few lightning strikes that happen. Okay. How is everyone going? Okay, Bearpelt is down. Flare Freckle is down. But the king who was struck dead is very much alive and well. Let's go to the medicine cat den. Flare Freckle was given ragwort as treatment for recovering from birth. Scorch Moss gathered rosemary, mallow, tansy, and cobwebs this moon. Okay, and jumping to relationships. Whenever Buttercup Finn's name is mentioned, King Fernstar relaxes. Yeah, he still is pining over Buttercup Finn, but she's not gonna accept his advances. Surely he knows this. But still, I think he likes taking advantage of the time they have together when they go out on patrols, because that's the one time that Ferntail is not in the area. Shadeflag asks King Fernstar about his duties. Despite past disagreements, Buttercup Finn is kind to Scorch Moss in passing. Okay, we've never really, I think, taken a look at how Buttercup Finn might feel towards Scorch Moss. Oh, well, we kind of did, because she was she was, like, making up rumors about Scorch Moss, spreading unkind rumors about Scorch Moss to get Flail Storm away from her, and it kind of worked in a way. But I don't think Flailstorm was avoiding Scorch Moss because of the rumors. I think he was just interested in Buttercup Finn at that point, so like nothing mattered. He would have grown distance from like Scorch Moss anyways, but Buttercup Finn, I think now that she's gotten Flailstorm, she's feeling a lot kinder to her because she doesn't have to worry about Scorch Moss anymore. She clearly knows that Flailstorm chose her and not Scorch Moss. Scorch Moss and Icicle Speck talk about what they see in the clouds. Icicle Speck and Buttercup Finn spend the morning telling interesting stories. You know what? I love the idea that these two, since they were the ones, how do I word this? Like, they were the ones accepting the confessions. There we go. I like the idea that they are both gossiping about the last moon, and how their mates both confessed to them and they ended up in relationships and they didn't realize they would. Like, it was so unexpected. But I think they would be comparing notes at this point. That would be the interesting stories, I think, between the 2 of these cats. Frostkit tells a clanmate that Icicle Speck did a great job today. Shining Stripe makes a small sacrifice that benefits Flailstorm. I think this is a way of Shining Stripe saying thank you to Flailstorm for giving him that bit of courage to confess to Icicle Speck, because I think Flailstorm was the one who gave him that final push at the end. Flare Freckle gets the zoomies with the Flailstorm. Smokewater runs into Buttercupfin at the medicine den. They both have a tummy ache from two halves of the same prey. Smokewater, Bearpelt, and Shadefleck had a nice talk while eating. Smokewater is happy today, but Bearpelt doubts it will last long. Buttercupfin mews congratulations to King Fernstar for a job well done. Yeah, he would eat that up. He would be so happy with attention, any attention she throws his way. Buttercupfin and Bearpelt joke around about how bad the other clans smell. Some mother-son bonding. Shining Stripe often goes to Icicle Speck for guidance. Oh, that's so cute! I mean, these two... Obviously, Shining Stripe is in love with his mate Icicle Speck at this point. Icicle Speck is still trying to figure out his feelings, I think. But I love the idea that as they spend more time with each other, their friendship is growing as well. Flare-Freckle can hear the truth in King Fernstar's words when he talks about protecting others. Shadefleck mentions that Bearpelt looks good today. Look at that! And now that Icicle Speck is out of the picture, Shadefleck is giving a little bit more attention to Bearpelt. Before he was like so indecisive. Shadefleck wishes he could get his pelt to shine like his mother's. Like scorch mosses. I don't know what was wrong with my throat there, but yeah. With scorch mosses. That is so cute. Shining Stripe shows Quillkit that bugs aren't that scary. Oh, some uncle-nephew bonding time over here. Buttercupfin lets Frostkit stalk a tail pretending not to see him. And this is some grandmother-grandson bonding time, which is so cute. And that's all we have for the events, so let me cut the recording here and continue with the cat list. Okay, let's go ahead and continue with the cat list. First up, we have loyalties, where there has been a little bit of a change. So Frostkit is no longer a loyalist of King Fernstar, and I think all it is probably the fact that he's a kitten with a very short attention span. In the last moon, the king was spending time with him and telling him jokes. In this moon, the king hasn't given him any sort of like playtime, right? So Frostkit, he's like moved on to other cats and he's more entertained by other cats. So I think he's just not thinking about the king anymore or his loyalty to the king, and that's why that's happened. Now, I took a scan of the relationships for the other cats. Nothing really of significance has changed between anyone, and we don't have any matchmaking because Inkfeather, the female we are trying to get into the clan, she obviously is being really elusive right now, so we don't have anyone to matchmake either. So let's just go through and see what everyone's doing for the day. Fernstar has been thinking of the cat who gave him the life he just lost because he did get struck by lightning. Buttercupfin saw a pair of two legs near camp today. Scorchmoss got caught in a sudden downpour and is not happy about it. Flailstorm can't get anything done with this heat. Icicle Speck agrees with a clanmate if only because they're friends. Bearpelt is wondering what living with two legs must be like. Shining Stripe is re-evaluating his morals. Oh, that's so cute. I'm wondering whether him reevaluating his morals is probably in regard to, like, I'm wondering if it's in regard to what we talked about in the last episode about how Shining Stripe doesn't feel like it's right to bother other cats, especially if he doesn't know how they feel. So for a long time, he kind of just kept his feelings to himself and he didn't want to bother Icicle Speck, but he almost missed out on having Icicle Speck. And if he hadn't gotten that piece of advice from Flailstorm to just go for it, then he wouldn't be, going through this relationship. He wouldn't have the privilege of being in love with Icicle Speck and having Icicle Speck return some of those feelings. So I'm wondering whether he's reevaluating the way he views certain things and, the way he justifies what's the right thing to do and what's the wrong thing to do, and whether thinking about himself is wrong or if that's right because he's giving himself a chance. I think before it was more like I should think about others before I think about myself because that's the right thing to do. So interesting thought with him. Flare-Freckle is batting at her tail. Shadefleck is wondering what living with two legs must be like. Smokewater is complaining about his nest being too rough. Quillkit is getting a badger ride from Flailstorm. Oh, that's so cute. and Frost Kit purrs as a cool breeze hits him. And that is all we have for the cat list. So let me cut the recording here and we'll continue with patrols. Let us continue with patrols. We currently have 37.2 prey and we need 27.5, so we're not worrying about food or anything like that. Let's send out our royal physician on to her medicine patrol, or a herb gathering patrol. While gathering herbs, Scorchmoss spots a bush of red berries. Scorchmoss knows death berries when she sees them and slips back to camp to report it to the leader. The warriors will need to be told to avoid this bush. Okay, she didn't find anything, but she managed to observe some things and use her wisdom to not get in trouble. And then we have a patrol of 5 with Shade Fleck, Shining Stripe, Icicle Speck, Buttercup Fin, and Fernstar. So let's see what they get up to. Fernstar sees 2 kids from Lyre Clan playing close to the border. Proceed. Fernstar, King Fernstar, wouldn't be able to forgive himself if something happened to those kids. He orders the patrol, save for Buttercup Fin, of course he picks her, to return to camp, and Buttercup Fin and Fernstar go to bring the kids back to the Lyre Clan. Relations with Lyre Clan have improved. You know what, I think especially, regardless of how he's been treating the independent groups and being a little bit vicious to them, I think that King Fernstar would be thinking about the 2 kids we have in Royal Clan right now in the grotto and how like precious they are, and he wouldn't want the clan's kids to ever be in this position and to have something bad happen to them. And knowing how precious kids are to the lifeblood of any group, he is obviously taking them back to, you know, their parents and their families. And his right hand, Buttercup Fin, obviously is going to be the one that he wants to come with him to do this, not only because she is the right hand, but because I feel like Fernstar uses any and every excuse he can to stay close to Buttercup Fin and to keep her away from Flailstone. Although I feel like if he starts doing things overtly like that, like if he actually tries to keep them away from each other, Buttercup Fin would get very irritated with him. So he's using excuses like patrols and, you know, these things to make sure that he can spend as much time with her as possible under the guise of work, of duty. But okay, that's what we had in the patrol, and that is all we managed to get done today. It was a much shorter episode than we had last time, but I rambled a lot in the last episode, and I just thought we needed some movement in this one. But okay guys, with that said and done, I'm going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.